Hmm. Let's see. Online. Sending data. Let's find out. Let's kill that link. Alright. We finally made it after all that madness. Goodness. YouTube. Get rid of these people developing this YouTube Studio beta. I understand the COPA thing, the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. Understandable. YouTube Studio beta is garbage. What are you doing? Instead of actually working on something, we gotta go fix the stream, get it back up. So this one's gonna begin partway in. I could re-upload the whole recorded video, or upload the recorded video later, which, you know, what's the point of live streaming if you're just gonna upload it later, right? Luckily we have that recording though. Take that out, back it off just a hair. Alright, now what did we miss? Any internal? One. I would not be surprised if it ends up being two. Oh, let's get their paper out of here too. Little Inspiron, we need your trim plate removed. I'm actually going to fold this back further to pop this trim plate. The hinge cover is kind of... Oh, no hint? Yeah, they'll be here with this one. So we got the screw. But it just still seems like it's not. There it goes. Before we tear too far into this for the YouTube aspect of it. Get out of the way. You're not part of us. You're different people. Let me take this screw out here and we'll take a look at what we're exactly doing. So this thing has power issues and probably some other issues, but let's look at the power first. You don't say. New jack, who dis? That took an impact there, look at that. That's part of the trouble. Alright, let's continue ripping into this thing. We got to get it down to where the jack comes in. Where's that? Over here. And see. Oh, you know what? I don't think we have one of these. I think now that I think about it, this is going to be out of order unless we have an Inspiron, an old Inspiron case laying around somewhere. We did just throw a bunch. We didn't throw it out. We got rid of it. A recycle guy came and got it. Why is there a rubber knob under there? What's the score here? Ah, okay, so they had to put a... Well, since that was hiding there, watch, there's probably some purpose to it. So we got the little rubber trim piece that goes actually on this part of the display, and then there was just a plain gray one put in here. Let's take the mismatch out. And return you to your previous home above the screen. And then continue with this crazy project. Quite a bit of stuff to remove on these. Can we get the power switch out of the way, or is it stuck? I don't know how much of these. It's been too long since I've torn one of these apart, which is a good indication we shouldn't be doing it now. I don't select what I work on now. This is a sad little Dell. We're gonna make it happy and great again. We just got a... Oh yeah, tab cracked on that one. That's how old this is. That tab is wanting to fall apart. Let's get you out. One there. And where else? That gets that out of the way. We have the Wi-Fi wires, and that should be it. And we'll get the DC jack out and see what it is we're working with. Yes, we could Google it, but we're going to not trust a picture. In case there were revisions on any of them, we're just going to go... That's horrible. We're going to go with what's actually internal in this thing. Right. Oh yes, we have, what is that, a daughter board underneath with the DC jack? I would say there's power issues. Do we have to lift this whole thing? Just to get at that? Alright, let's go for the motherboard. It looks, everything is basically disconnected, minus the fan and heatsink. And let's check the bottom and see. RAM should come out. There's no trim under it. Wi-Fi is bolted direct to the motherboard. To get this board out, best of knowledge and past experience, we are going to have to pull our heatsink. Let's check this out now. We did have some carpet built up in there, so as well as our power, we were suffering from some heat. So what are you? Let's find out. Where's your code? Alright. Oh, did the stream die? Impossible. So there was, yeah, there was somebody there, and now there's not? It says YouTube's online. Hey, why would it be waiting for me? I'm already there. Not a preview. Let's refresh it. Should be live. Let's hope it still is. So, okay, so here's the CPU that's in it. I guess it's a T4400. Intel Pentium dual core mobile T4400. Alright, so it wasn't the B810, B920, or whatever they were. One of those. That must have been a slightly newer generation of 1545. Tell us about it. When was this processor released? Let's take a look. Q4 of 2009. Awesome. Good stuff. See, Restream says we're working, but Restream could be lying like heck. I don't want to close it, but then again, I don't want to leave it open. Hopefully it gets the video. If it doesn't, yeah. We'll upload it later. This the chat is here. 3 out of 3 channels, so everything's all good on the chat front. Q4 2009 T4400. That's our guy right there. What else do we need out? Wi-Fi is on the board. RAM is on the board. Let's see what we're still connected to. Work on lifting our board out. Plastic. I don't be down on its own. There we go, finally. We're getting somewhere. Look at this. Look at this DC jack. Look at that magnificent thing. That old stuff. This thing could definitely be improved by a new bottom case. We're even going to have some trouble getting this out of here with the smashed in. Like, you take a look at that. You can look from above and see exactly how smashed up. Look at the shape of this. It's supposed to be straight. You can see it's warped in. It's kind of doing its focus thing. So, yeah. Let's take it back out and get this board out. This is what we need to resource. I don't think, plastic wasn't even on there. I don't think we have any more 1545s this old. If we do, I think we got rid of them. So let's take a closer look at our DC jack. Here's what ended up happening to it. Let's zoom in carefully. Give it time to do its thing so you can see the hole missing. If any of those pins have contacted each other in there, more than likely it created a short at some point. You can see here on the whole back of it, the impact that it took on the jack. It pushed the DC jack right out the back. If focus is a thing in 2019, yeah, so it shoved the whole thing right out the back. If we have a jack that's for a Dell that's that size and has the proper pins, which we need, let's count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pins on a DC jack. We'll solder a new one on there and hope everything else works. I'm going to say we don't have this board here. Okay, we have another 9-pin one, but the pins are in the wrong order. Shut up. There's no flipping way. Alright. Fair enough. We have a DC jack that fits. Haha. Now, next issue. We're going to have to take a close look at this and take time and let the camera see what's going on. If you take a look at the circuit board, I don't think soldering a new jack on is going to be that easy of a solution. And I know we got the chroma key filter on this one, so it rips out the color of the board. However, let's see, what else can we look at? And it won't focus. But on this area of the board, we have a nice crack that we can see. It pretty much, it folded this whole tail of the board. So let's go back to the Sony. Pretty much folded this whole tail that the DC jack, if you look at the shape of the board, it does that at the top. Sits right around this USB port. Well, this portion of it is folded down where the DC jack connects. So, rather than wasting a perfectly good jack trying this, let's think about this. Even if, say we took and broke this the rest of the way, or didn't break this the rest of the way off, we're going to have to connect all these traces. They're going to have to be reconnected externally on 2 sides, and if this is more than a 2-layer board, any traces that would run internally, we'd have to find a way to reconnect those. Not going to happen on this. Next plan, see if we have an old 1545 here. I doubt it. Give me a moment. We're going to look in the archive and see what's what. Let's take a quick mute break. Where are we at? So we came close. No cigar, of course. No horseshoes, no hand grenades. But we came close. And as is the case, always throughout different versions of computers, going from a 15 to a 17-inch model. Look how close we came to finding a used part. Okay, so this is a Inspiron 1750, same generation as the 1545, but it's a 17-inch model. So we had our DC jack, all the same stuff, just laid out differently. So DC jack, 2 USB ports stacked, VGA, and Ethernet. And we had the DC jack, VGA, Ethernet, and 2 USB ports, end for end. Now, the next one is actually, I thought we hit gold, but this is an Inspiron M5030. But if we just flash that up quick, you're like, whoa, if the part's in there, is it going to work? And no, it's not, sadly. I think they honestly flipped Ethernet and VGA and used slightly smaller parts. I mean, that was close. Not close enough. And I think it is all on the same motherboard versus a daughter board. It is. But, yeah, that would have been so nice. So we're going to look up a price, see if we can get one of these. It should be a few dollars. On charger board. We'll try and get this number here, look it up, see what it is, get a price on it, give the customer a call and see tomorrow, see if it's what they want to do. That took a pretty hard hit. Honestly, fixing old stuff like this is never recommended. But if they want to do it, they'll do it. We're going to tell them it's not the best option, as always. Yeah. I don't see that this is broken the whole way through, but there is definitely a crack. I know it's hard for you to see with the filters on. 100% there is a crack. I'll go ahead and stick the knife in here to show that there's a crack in the traces. Yeah, they're actually split. Now this one I could probably get away with resoldering it back together, and this one I'm not worried about the traces on the surface or even the couple big ones on this back. That would be easy to fix. What I'm worried about is if there's anything in between. The time you would have into fixing something like that, if you're going to resolder a new jack on there and then take that old jack out, solder the traces together to make sure that they all test and everything's good. Time into that's going to cost more to do that and be kind of foolish. That's more of a kind of do it to see if you can experiment, prove a point with something that's junk, not something you want to send back out to somebody. And possibly if it was, oh, I got to get this thing running again, sentimental value, then maybe if we couldn't get any of these boards. Fairly certain we can find one of these somewhere, so we'll take a look for that later. Right now, we're going to clean up. We've got a lot of screws and a lot of stuff to pick up. Yay for old computers. Alright, let's throw this crap back in here. I know we canned some 1545s recently, but I don't think they were what we're looking at here now today. I'm fairly certain they were completely different completely different models than what we just looked at. Oh well, so be it. Let's take one moment. We'll hop over to our display. And let's look this thing up. Is that DR1, DRI, DR1 charger board 05 08530-2 08530-2. Well, there we go. At your local friendly Amazon, you can find them. That's our part. $21.97. 0829. See, all the numbers do not match, but the component layout does. Where exactly they're getting the dash 00829. Let's see if I can find it. It is not listed on this board, the 00829. I don't know about that one. Yeah, let's take a second look. So that's the board we're looking at. I know it's way out of focus. And the filter, of course. So we got that and that. That other one is that's our suspect, our culprit. $21.97 cost of labor to put it in. If this is the only option for a computer, possibly if they don't have money for a new one, but maybe money to do that. Yeah, how much longer is this computer likely to run? An old T4400 that ran hot. I mean, and when I say hot, I mean super hot. Like this thing was its own little furnace for a while. Look at the carpet coming off of that. It's not even shag. That's like, I don't even know what you call that. Beyond shag. Some of that has to be like original. Never been cleaned. We'll continue this story tomorrow. What do we got? What else do we got here that we can do right now? Nothing. No, there's a lot. We're just not doing it. Maybe you'll see this fixed. Maybe you won't. Who knows? Anyhow, have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is when you get here, or if you've been here. Thanks for hanging out. If this is your thing, why does it work? How does it work? What's broken? Can we fix it? Tinkering. Doing this as a job, a hobby, a passion. If you like this stuff, like this, share this, get it out there. I do kind of want to do the proposed fix, attempt it, the crack. Like soldering the traces back and putting a new jack on there, just to see would it work. If they put an impact like that to it, I don't even know how flexing this board back into place, hitting it with the heat in order to get the jack out, and then resoldering it, what's that going to do to it? I would not want that back out in the open, free world as a machine somebody would be relying on or using for entertainment, whatever. We'll go for the new board route. Much different than most DC jacks. I mean, it's a whole component daughter board, so usually you can get a DC jack for a few bucks, depending on what you're working on, but yeah, this is a slightly different story. Anyhow, have a good one. Like this, share this. Thanks for watching as always. Tomorrow we're going to tackle an HP, a gateway, just for reference. I have the screen. I'm going to pick up the epoxy either tonight or tomorrow, and you get to see this thing welded back together. I don't think we're going to go the whole filler and then like filler, sand, paint, and gloss it. Senseless. But we're going to at least splice this back together. They really don't want to put any money into it, but I'm just going to do it just to have a solid one-piece bezel that will stay clipped on appropriately. Anyhow, we will see you then tomorrow for some madness. Thank you.